Hello, dear Doolin friends. It's me, James Henry, your pastor, joining you today, and I'm delighted for another opportunity to join you on the Doolin Weekly Moment, the Doolin Weekly Podcast. However, you're receiving this, hello to you. Thanks for joining me. We have been spending the last couple of weeks, and we're going to continue for a couple more talking about being like Jesus. What are some of the things that we could practice in our daily life that would help us be like Jesus? What do we see him doing? Because part of the idea of following Jesus, following the path that Jesus is on, is observing what he does. When he invites those 12 that we name and know, as well as all the others, I picture him traveling with a crowd. The men were named, but I suspect there were also women that journey with him, etc. Uh, on this journey. And when they journeyed with him, part of what their work was getting to see him do what he did. And in observing, learn to do it themselves. So today I thought about one of the things that they would have seen that was quite different from some of the other religious people of his time. In fact, the religious people of his time kept calling him out for it because Jesus liked to enjoy himself. So he went to dinner parties at people's houses, parties, dinner at people's houses. He went to a wedding at Cana of Galilee. Read John chapter 2, where he goes to a wedding and they run out of wine. They've been celebrating for a while and been drinking wine, but they run out of wine. Jesus has six, I want to say six purification pots filled with water. Each one would have held about 30 gallons, somewhere in that neighborhood. And then he turns those pots, we're told, into 180 gallons they didn't say the measure, but he turned that water into wine. 180 gallons of wine, so that the party could go on. And it meant that they saved the finest for last, etc. You've heard the story. Jesus enjoyed life. He engaged life. We don't hear as much about that stories, but if we read between the lines, when he goes to eat with sinners and tax collectors, and he engages with all kinds of people wherever they are, and people come to hear him, we get the sense that he enjoyed being around people. He enjoyed enjoying himself. He enjoyed engaging his life. Some people may think, well, he only had a couple of years of life. Once he began his ministry at age 30, left. So he really went for it. But no matter how much time any one of us has on the earth, we are meant to experience and enjoy it. Jesus was very good at that. He sat at dinner. He ate dinner. He would have, a glass of wine, we gather, at those meals. He turned water into wine at a wedding. He hung out with his disciples and spent time teaching them and eating with them and enjoying their company. And it seems like to me, if I understand who Jesus was sort of modeling for me, that I'm meant to be, it's someone who recognizes that life isn't all about being serious and austere all the time. It's about enjoying myself. This past weekend, in between various other kinds of things that were on my plate to do, I spent some time reading. When Linda and I went, a couple of months ago to my nephew's graduation down in North Carolina, we went into a used bookstore and I found all of these books that I'm a big fantasy fan. I like reading fantasy. And yes, I read Lee Child's, novels about Jack Reacher. I don't know why I find them fascinating, but I do. And so last weekend, I took time and just really enjoyed reading a book. And there were moments when I thought, there are some things I could be doing other than this. And there are times when we need to be doing the work. But there are also times when we need to take a break, when we need to sit down and enjoy ourselves, enjoy the company of others, spend time with each other. One of the greatest epidemics we hear about now in the world is loneliness. And so finding groups of people that with whom we can engage, whom we can have time with, who we can experience what it is to be alive with. Jesus spent time. He didn't choose to go it alone. He called some people, and he picked some specific people to sort of be leaders amongst his inner flock, his inner following, his inner disciples. But there were lots of others in the circle, and they all got to enjoy his presence, being with him. And I think that you and I are also meant, yes, to be serious sometimes, to take our discipleship seriously, but to laugh, to enjoy, to play games, to read books if that's what you like to do, to engage with people we like, to go to parties if we're invited, or maybe throw a party and invite some people. Engage with other human beings and enjoy this life we've been given. I don't know what the next life looks like exactly. No one really does. No one who tells you they do really don't. Might have visions about it. The biblical descriptions of it are more visionary than they are literal. I don't think that they're literal. So if these are images of what it might be to enjoy ourselves later, we are meant to live this life here and to enjoy this life here, much as Jesus modeled for us what it was to really enjoy the life that you have. Several years ago, I was listening to a song. I listen to a wide variety of songs, some sacred and some you might call not so sacred. I like Callum Scott's voice, a British singer, and part of a line from one of the choruses of a song he sings is something like, "Tell me why, what good is life if we're all just waiting to dance in the sky?" And then he goes on to describe what it is to be alive. And of course, it's a love song. So to be here in your arms, it's like heaven. And you may think, oh, romanticism, the whole 9 yards. I get it. But I hear in that a truth. I hear a truth, a compelling truth. We can experience a taste of what eternity is like, because eternity doesn't begin when we die. It begins when we engage in life. This is, for all of us, the beginning of eternity. This moment is the next moment in this journey into eternity. And so if we can truly, fully grasp this moment, live into it as best we can, and enjoy it as best we can, and play games and read and dance and walk and sing and whatever else makes us happy, whatever else helps us to truly enjoy life. If we can do those things, we're doing something Jesus did. There is a time for every purpose under heaven. A time to dance and a time to refrain from dancing, a time to play, a time to work. All of those things. Make time in your life. Find a way. I don't think there's any such thing as balance. If we really try to balance things, it'll never quite balance out. But try to find space in your life to just enjoy being alive. Sit on your porch, breathe in some fresh air, take a walk, smell some roses, go to a movie, a play, have a friend over for coffee, tea, whatever it is. Engage in this world, because that's what Jesus did. You can be like Jesus by engaging the world in which you live. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you will really try to live this one wild and beautiful life that you've been given and live it fully, remembering that every moment is the beginning of eternity for each of us. Dear precious friends, I wish you all the best until the next time I see you.